Without GPS, I don't believe my job would exist. Years ago, we had this whole blanket approach, right? Like we treated this whole field as one, and that's how it was treated, was as one, right? With the onset of GPS, we've now been able to record our location in the field, and with that, we've also been able to make our large-scale equipment small-scale again. We get individual row-by-row control, so instead of having a 24-row planner out there that acts as one unit, we have 24 individual little planners that can act independently. So that is critical for precision ag. We cannot do that without GPS.
GPS is very important in agriculture today. Just about every piece of equipment can be steered or guided based on GPS. So tying in with the seed business, we also do variable rate seeding maps, and that is also based with GPS. So what we do is we look at the productivity of the different soils as they're going through the field. And what we do is as the planter's going through the field, it'll notice that it's in a different productivity environment. It will adjust the seeding rate as it's going through the field.
There it goes. See, now we're 32.5.
And so that's all tied back to GPS there as well.
What GPS is really hasn't changed, too much over the years. You're connecting to satellites. There's different correction modes, but a lot of that hasn't changed over the years. That's pretty much stayed the same. Just our accuracy and our increased capabilities.
It's gotten a lot simpler. Back in the 10 years ago, we used to go out and have base stations and towers and have 450 and 900 megahertz radios to transmit, to get good corrections, to get within 1 inch there. Now, the satellite constellation has changed and grown dramatically. 10 years ago, we were working with 5 to 6 satellites based off a tractor or an implement when we're trying to drive. Now we have 25 to 30 satellites out there, and the bases and the radios are no longer needed for good corrections within sub-inch.
GPS has gotten a lot more reliable in the past 20 years or so since I've been in this industry. We have many different signal types. One of them is WAAS, and that's a free signal. It's not very good. It's good for some operations like tillage and maybe spraying, but if you're going to be planting or strip tilling or something like that, you really need a better signal. RTK, which means real-time kinematic, is very accurate. It's sub-inch, so it doesn't drift or anything like that. And now with modern technology, we actually have satellite-based signals that are just as good. What we run here on the farm is TerraStar X, which is a RTK from the sky.
We use GPS on all our sprayers.
Yeah, any application.
Yeah, any applicator has GPS on it, just because it's crucial to know. Because you need straight lines, and you need to know what areas of the field.
You also get data from that. I mean, you can monitor the equipment, whether it's the planter, the sprayer, the fertilizer applicator. There's no overlapping. It just boils down to it's an efficiency portion of almost anybody's operations.
So the biggest way that we use GPS is the georeferencing for our sampling points. So we'll take a piece of ground and we'll analyze it via satellite imagery of the bare ground. So bare ground means no crop. We'll analyze that soil and then take sample points throughout that farm based on the water flow and that bare ground image of that soil. So rather than laying out a grid, we can actually go out there and take educated samples and pull samples out in that farm that we can geo-reference later and use for our VR scripts and that sort of thing.
With the fertilizing and everybody kind of moving towards trying to do a strip till program, put the nutrients right there at 2 inches, right when the plant needs it, or a little below that. We have to be able to plant right over that pass as well. Well, no one can hand steer over that. So we have to be able to plant right over the top, so that way the seed is right above the nutrients. Therefore, right as the seed germinates, it's right there to collect those nutrients, and as it grows down, it'll be able to absorb those nutrients as well. So GPS is important in that aspect especially.
The point of GPS in my role is, once again, we're here for the ROI of the grower, so we can focus on that acre. We can pull the data from the planter, from the combine, and say, okay, so this acre has good stuff and we're getting good stuff from it, but this acre isn't as good. So let's put more nutrients into the good acre. We already know the bad acre can't produce good enough, and we're putting stuff where it needs to be put, and we're getting the most out of it.
GPS technology, I think, is going to continue to be there. The next step is going to autonomous equipment. And ultimately with the drone sprayer, that's kind of what we're doing. You know, it's autonomous spraying out there. Even though we're controlling it, it's not a manned vehicle.